Hi guys, for today's story I've got one of my dogs, Reggie the Lump, who's joined us. He won't get off my knee, so I'm afraid we're just going to have a white lump join us for the story. So today's story is The Firebird. Far away across the sea there lived a rich and powerful king. His garden was studded with silver trees that blossomed with rubies, emeralds and diamonds. In the middle was the most precious tree of all, yielding apples of solid gold. One morning he saw that a golden apple had been stolen. "Find the thief!" the king begged his son. One by one they waited up all night, only to fall asleep before dawn and wake to find another apple missing. At last it was the turn of Prince Ivan, the youngest son. He sang songs to keep himself awake until the sky grew so bright that he thought the sun was waking. But it was a beautiful bird, its body glowing like hot coals, feathers fluttering like flames. The Firebird swooped down and snatched a golden apple in its beak. Prince Ivan tried to catch it, but its body was burning hot. The prince rushed to tell his father what had happened. "I want that bird," said the king. Prince Ivan rolled out across the wintry land, over frozen rivers, and into a snow-filled forest. Out of the darkness came a great silver wolf. It sprang at Prince Ivan's house, bringing it to the ground with one bite to its neck. The prince broke down and sobbed before turning on the wolf. "How will I find the Firebird without a horse?" he demanded. The silver wolf hung his head in shame. "I'm sorry," he said. "I was so hungry. Climb on my back. I'll take you to the Firebird." Prince Ivan climbed on the wolf's back, nervously clinging to his fur, and the silver wolf sprang up, flying through the freezing air. They soared over snowy hills until night fell. The wolf landed softly just beyond the wall of a great castle. Ivan caught sight of a flash of red feathers as something flitted over the castle walls. "The Firebird!" he cried, reaching out to grab it. This time the prince clung on, even as the fiery feathers scorched his hands. "Don't kill me," begged the Firebird. "I'm not going to kill you," replied Ivan. "My father wants to keep you in a golden cage, but I shall fly free," the bird pleaded. Out of pity, Prince Ivan let her go. "Fly then," he said quietly, yet for a moment the Firebird stayed where she was. "Take this feather," she said, passing him a long plume from her tail. "It will help you if you are ever in trouble." Then she flew away. Prince Ivan turned to go when he heard laughter like silver bells coming from within the castle. Intrigued, he urged the wolf over the wall, and they landed in a garden filled with rose trees and statues. 12 beautiful girls were dancing. They were joined by a princess, the most beautiful of them all. "Please run away while you can," she warned Ivan. "We are all trapped here. This castle belongs to the deadliest of terrible sorcerers. If he finds you, he will turn you to stone, just like the others," she added, pointing to the lifelike statues. Even as he spoke, the castle doors opened, and the sorceress stormed out, 100 hideous demons swirling around his scarlet cloak. Ivan drew his sword and rushed at him just as the sorceress raised his arms. "You could never hope to hurt me," sneered the sorcerer. "I have hidden my heart outside my body." Prince Ivan looked down in horror as he felt numbness spreading through him, an icy tingling that rushed up from his toes to his legs. "I'm turning to stone," he gasped. Quickly he pulled the Firebird's feather from his cloak. It fluttered down and warmed him with its touch. Ivan could move once more. I know where his heart is, whispered the silver wolf. Look in the box beneath the old tree shrub. Then the wolf leapt at the sorcerer. As they fought, Ivan ran to the tree stump. He pulled out the box, seized the egg inside, and shook it. The sorcerer let out a scream as he was flung from side to side. Stop, he cried, stop, and I'll give you anything you want. But Prince Ivan threw the egg into the air, and it crashed onto the ground, smashing into 1,000 pieces. The sorcerer vanished, leaving only a wisp of black smoke in the air. All around the statues came back to life. Come home with me, Ivan said to the princess, stretching out his hands to her. Wordlessly, she took it, and they climbed onto the silver wolf's back. By evening, Ivan could see the lights of home. The king rushed out of the palace to welcome back his son. I thought I'd never see you again, he cried. Prince Ivan and the princess were soon married, and the Firebird still visited the king's garden to feast on the golden apples. Only now she was allowed to come and go in peace.